Are there any advanced analyzing techniques the average player doesn't know about? Also, do you only watch matches you lose, win, or both? For 99% of players, one thing you can do is look for any situation in a replay where you are hit by a move or you block a move from the opponent and you're like, what should I do here? Because there's going to be so many characters in so many matchups in so many situations, you are not going to know what to do in every situation. I guarantee it. So if you block a move and you look at the replay, pause it right there when you block that move. Based on that spacing, do you know how plus or minus that situation was on block? Do you know what options they could press after that? Do you know what options you can press after that? I guarantee you probably don't know all of them in any random replay. And you probably don't know the frame data to all the moves that a character is throwing out at you. Like, don't just have your eyes glaze over when opponents are pressing buttons and you're just blocking the pressure. Actually look at the moves in training mode and be like, wait, did I allow them to steal a turn? Was that move plus? Is it negative but spaced out so I have limited options? Recreate these scenarios in training mode, look at the frame data, and you can start to glean things away from it. So that's for just people hitting you on block. If you get actually hit, think about why you got hit. Did you do something unsafe? Did you not confirm something? Why were you opened up in neutral? When you start looking at your mistakes, like I should have DP'd that jump or I got hit because I guessed wrong. First of all, I should have DP'd that jump. What were you looking for in that situation that distracted you and added too much to your mental stack so that you were not able to anti-air? I think this is a big thing that people get wrong in fighting games. You don't want to look at the part where you're actually eating the damage. You want to look at the step beforehand that led you to be in a situation to get hit. What were you looking for? And is that really something you should be focusing on in that situation or not? So if you're looking for a dash on the ground and they happen to jump, was that really enough to force you to not be able to properly anti-air in that moment? Should you have been standing in a range where you could have maybe autopiloted anti-air on reaction, like a really easy anti-air? Were you too close to them and they forced a cross-up jump and that was much more difficult to anti-air because you were forced to like air to air or something, or do a cross-cut DP instead, right? So these things shift how much mental energy that you actually need to apply to deal with the situation, and then question, why were you in that situation in the first place? You need to qualify what went wrong and put it into a category of how you're going to deal with it the next time. Saying things like, I got hit because I guessed heads when opponent picked tails. That does happen, but what you can do is be like, look at the patterns beforehand. When you've been in this situation multiple times, first of all, is it really a heads or tails situation? Because for the most part, a lot of modern Street Fighter games, there's not pure 50-50s. You have multiple options. You might be able to attempt a parry, attempt a perfect parry, delay throw tech, quick throw tech, delay backdash, immediate backdash, a delay button, neutral jump, forward jump, reversal. You probably have more options than you're actually really giving your credit to the game in this situation. So really ask yourself that question. And then second of all, was there a history of this situation before, and what patterns did this player apply in those situations? Could you have picked up on their habits from previous interactions? And also, take a step back and say, why was I in this situation in the first place? When you get command grabbed by Zangief, you shouldn't really be thinking about, oh, I guessed wrong and I got SPD'd. Why were you in a situation where Gief could actually go for a command grab versus strike mix-up on you? That is what you have to answer. Once you're in the situation where you're in a blender, you already messed up because you fucked up somewhere and you found yourself in a blender, and then when you're in the blender turns on and you get blended. It's that simple. Don't be in the blender. Find a route around that. So once you're in that situation, it already went wrong. Try to prevent it from happening in the first place. So take a step back in your replay and see what you could have done better in neutral to avoid being in that situation where you're then forced to guess. Being forced to guess is being in a losing situation. You need to learn how to avoid losing situations before they happen.